Let's begin. This is for the late night addicts and the early morning coffee drinkers, where we break down some sports, do some handicapping, talk a little pop culture, talk a little music. Big news of the day, though. Not news of the day, but the big talking point of the day is Kevin Durant, the Golden State Warriors. And that's where we will begin. I talked a little bit yesterday. I was doing my podcast when it kind of broke. It was my first initial thoughts. Had a 24 hours to think about it. And a lot's been brought up about the tweet that Kevin Durant sent out in 2010 when LeBron James made his decision. I went on TV and went down to Miami and joined up with Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. And Kevin Durant wasn't all too happy about it. Said we need to get all competitive with him. Well, Kevin Durant, 6 years later, has done exactly what LeBron James did. Not the same circumstances, but similar circumstances. A lot of people are saying, don't compare Kevin Durant and LeBron James. And there is some different catalysts. You know, LeBron James was a hometown boy. They did get to the NBA Finals. He was playing in the East. Cleveland probably would have bent over backwards to bring in players for him. Oklahoma City is a little bit different, even though they have the new TV deal. Oklahoma City, I don't know if they really want to flash all that cash. They've shown that they're willing to a certain extent. We'll find out now with Westbrook. If they do want to keep Westbrook, they're going to have to flash the cash and bring in a superstar to play with them to keep him there. But to me, it is very similar. And when I do go look back on that tweet, and I don't like LeBron James at all. I can come up with many reasons why I do not like LeBron James. Coach, general manager LeBron James. He has a tendency of throwing people under the bus pretty quick, point fingers pretty quick. He has a tendency of not showing up when times get tough sometimes, especially when they're losing. When things are all going all good and everything, LeBron James has no problem putting on the points, putting on the show. But when things aren't going all good, when things aren't going all Millhouse, everything's coming up Millhouse. When things aren't coming up Millhouse, LeBron James is just like, nah, I'm going to tap out. We can point some fingers. We can throw some people under the bus. We can embarrass some people because I'm LeBron James. Go ask Coach Blatt and many others. And one of the big talking points today is whether we should hate the Golden State Warriors or whether we should dislike them, whether they're villains, whether you want to watch them lose. Me, I'm a little different in basketball. I don't have a team I like. I'm not a diehard of any basketball team. So it's going to be fun to watch. Oh, fuck yeah. This is great for the league. Great for the league. It was great for the league when LeBron James and all them hooked up in Miami. It's a talking point. People are going to be watching, whether to watch them lose or whether to watch them win. Me, depends on what side of the point spread I'm on. But I'm excited to watch it. It's going to be some fun basketball. I can guarantee you I will be one of them turning in to the first Warriors game of the season. I look forward to playing the Toronto Raptors. Obviously, when they hook up against the Cleveland Cavaliers and the San Antonio Spurs, should be pretty interesting. So I don't look at them as villains. Did I want them to break Michael Jordan's record this year? No. Do I think they're going to be able to top 73 wins next year? No. I've heard some people saying that he'll slide right in and there won't be any, hiccups. There won't be any, having to wait a little while to gel and to mesh, to learn. And I kind of agree with them a little bit, but I don't. No matter what, you're bringing in a new person into the fold. You've lost some other people. Yeah, you got beat in the finals, so you're going to change some things up. Coach Kerr's not just going to sit idle. It's not what good coaches do. He'll be sitting here in the offseason all year thinking of how I can use these four 4 guys their most effectiveness. And things will change a little bit. They'll obviously bring in a couple more bargain big men to go along with their initial core that they got right now. It's one hell of a core. Holy fuck. So I don't look at them as villains. Don't hate them. Do I hate Kevin Durant? No. This isn't Kevin Durant's title if he wins. That's the thing, and I already know that. Like, this doesn't make Kevin Durant any better or any worse of a player. It just gets a ring on his finger. And then you can start putting him in a conversation of somewhat. Especially if he has a really big impact. Maybe he goes out and has a more impactful season than Klay Thompson or Chef Curry. But I don't think it makes him any better or any worse. It just doesn't, you just can't put him in that Michael Jordan folklore. That Kobe Bryant, the Shaquille O'Neals. Even Dirk Nowitzki, for fuck's sakes, ended up being able to pull it off with his team that he's played for a long time. So, it gets him a step up, but it's not a big one. Not a big one at all. Will he enjoy playing out there? I'm sure he will. I'm sure he'll enjoy those open shots. Going from being contested on every shot on the court that he took to probably being not contested for at least half of them. Or someone's not going to be covered. So I'm excited for it. The NBA should be, is excited for it. NBA fans should be excited. There's going to be people hating on them. People burning jerseys. People making their babies cry. I've seen all those videos starting to go viral. I don't really care so much about the jersey burning. Because, hell, you fucking spent money for it. That's your jersey. Do whatever you want with it. Most people react before they say, hey, then the team will release, hey, bring your old Kevin Durant jersey in. We'll give you a new one of someone else and shit. Usually the team will do that. But they'll wait for a while for half the people to fucking burn them so they don't lose too much money. But it's it's getting these little kids to cry by telling them the bad news is just fucking bullshit. I don't want to see or hear this. Like, why are you fucking putting your kids on the internet like this to begin with? They're fucking kids. They shouldn't be on the fucking internet. And you're fucking embarrassing them. Half the time you're setting this shit up, these fucking parents probably. It's not too spontaneous. Maybe they're in a bad, you know what I mean? Like, not everything is spontaneous. Half of this shit's set up. People realize. People like to be fucking noticed. People love attention. So, fucking stop putting your kids in the fucking spotlight. Stop fucking embarrassing them. Stop fucking telling them like that. For fuck's sakes. I wouldn't want to be told my favorite player left my team like that. Fuck, I'd want to be told nice and softly so I can get fucking nice and angry and spew my anger. Notice I have a button undone there. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I'm getting worked up. Goddamn allergies. Coming back down into the country area, my allergies just kick right back up. Living in the city, goddamn pollution just kills all the allergies out there, so I'm fucking living free. I'm breathing free in the city because of all the pollution just kills the allergies. Down here in the country, it's a different story. It's like going from Shelbyville into Springfield, for fuck's sakes, man. There's like that fucking allergy dark cloud hanging over here in the fucking Durham region. I'm fucking sniffing. But, anyways. Yeah, so I'm excited to watch that. I don't think any more or any less of Kevin Durant. Do I think he can go... Did I think he could win in Oklahoma? Yeah. Did I think Oklahoma is willing to bring in the right players? Yeah. They're willing to do it. They're willing to do it. I would have thought a lot more of them. I would have been able to put them up in that next level if he would have been able to stay at Oklahoma and do that. Golden State, good on him. Hopefully he gets his ring. Why not? And the other thing about it, he's just not that much of an asshole as LeBron James is to some people and stuff like that. So, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. But we're going to move on to a little bit of sports picks. Some handicapping. Got some Major League Baseball, a little MLS action going on tonight. Had a nice little run yesterday. Been kind of, up and down, treading water. Going up to Algonquin Park and not having any internet access to information or any information at all. And in between moving places, trying to find places, I don't get nearly as much time to sit down and prepare. So I don't get to nearly as many games, which is disappointing. But it is what it is. Everything will all fall into place. That's what happens in life. Things tend to fall into place. I'm going to Mossport this weekend to watch Le Mans, do some interviews. Mossport racetrack, great place. Haven't been there since I was a kid, really. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've been to Mossport. So I'm going to do a little camping down there, do some interviews, do some work, write a couple stories, hang out with a couple people I haven't seen in a little while. Always hate when I put my hat on sideways. Pisses me off seeing that in the mirror, in the video screen. But wow, whatever. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. And you can't give the NBA Finals championship to the Golden State Warriors yet. You still have to play the games. People get injured, things happen. But fuck, I do agree with half the teams. Like, what the, why even bother this year? Like, what kind of chance do we have? Like, we have no chance. No chance in hell, as Vince McMahon would say. You got no chance. Raptor fans? Fuck, man. You still got to get through the East, and if you happen to get through the East, you got to go through that shit, man. It's a little bit better. But signing DeMar DeRozan was big. You couldn't reel in Pau Gasol. Hopefully you can get another kind of a big man, somewhat impactful player in the free agency market here from what's left. But there's no sense really going all gung-ho this year, Raptors, because you really don't have a chance. But why not go on a run? Why not improve the NBA culture of your team and of your franchise and of the city? Why not make it an interesting and attractive place for NBA players that want to go? So put on a show. I still, I heard some talk about saying, why don't people just give up their team for what the 76ers have? They'd rather be in that position. But I'd say, fuck that shit, man. 76ers have a hell of a long way to go to reach the level where the fucking Toronto Raptors are. Toronto Raptors have been building this for a long time. And not just this team, but the culture and the identity of their team. The development of players. They got the D-League team in there right now. Fuck no, there's no way. No way I'd want to be in the 76ers position rather than the Raptors position. No way. I'd rather be in the Raptors. But alright, let's fly over to some MLB picks. We'll start on the diamond. I'll get to the Euros tomorrow. Trying to make this short, quick, sweet. Alright. I still have Germany futures in the Euros, so obviously you know what side I'm on for Germany-France. I don't need to go any further on that, but I'll definitely break the game down. But alright, in the MLB today, we got a full board going off tonight. There's a lot of afternoon games going on tomorrow, kind of messed a little bit of things up. First game on the boards, Kansas City Royals in Toronto to take on my hometown Toronto Blue Jays, even though I'm not a Blue Jays fan. I'm an Oakland A's fan, so screw the Blue Jays. Especially screw R.A. Dickey. Well, not really, because I've been betting against R.A. Dickey all year, and it's been profitable. So R.A. Dickey's on the mound for the Blue Jays. Young's on the mound for the Kansas City Royals. The Blue Jays are minus 165 on the money line. Total in this game is 9.5. I like the Kansas City Royals sitting there at plus 145. I wouldn't be shocked if it goes over 9.5 as well. So I'm leaning heavily to the over of 9.5. But I've already clicked on the Royals. But I'll tweet that one out. But I am leaning heavily to the over 9.5 in this game. I think we're going to see like a 10-6, 11, 10-7 ball game, something like that. All right, Dickey's basically been a gas can. Where I think he's like 0-5 with a high 5 ERA at home this year. He hasn't been good at all at home. He hasn't been good all year, and he's been even worse at home. So it's been fun to ride against him this year. So I'm going to continue that trend. Up next, we got the Milwaukee Brewers visiting the Washington Nationals. Gio Gonzalez is on the mound for the Nationals, former Oakland A. Davies is on the mound for the Brewers. As it stands, the Nationals are minus 165 home favorites. Total in this game is 8.5 runs. I like the over. Over the total. Over 8.5 runs. The Nationals are 7-3 in their last 10. They're pretty hot right now. Both teams tend to lean to the over. The Brewers are 42, 36, and 4 to the over. And the Washington Nationals are 42, 37, and 5 on the total this year to the over. So hopefully that trend can continue. We look for some the Washington bats to continue to stay awake somewhat. Gio Gonzalez hasn't fared too well against the Milwaukee Brewers either in his career. 2-2, the no decision. Tends to let in his fair share of runs. Tends to give up a lot of hits is what I was really trying to get at. So I like the over 8.5. Up next, and tread lightly on this one. Tread lightly. But we got the Oakland Athletics. They're on the road in Minnesota to take on the Twins. Tommy Milone, another former Oakland A's, on the mound for the Twins. Sean Manaea takes the mound for the Oakland A's. Manaea sucks. He's awful. He's a gas can. He's actually been pitching not too badly, though, in his last 3 outings. His last outing against the Minnesota Twins, he went 6 innings. He only gave up 1 earned run. So hopefully that can continue. He seemed to be comfortable on the mound against the Twins. As it stands right now, Minnesota's screw Minnesota. The Athletics are minus 120 road favorites. Basically a pick 'em. Total in this game is 9.5. But I like the Oakland A's at minus 120. Tread lightly. Up next, we got the Houston Astros at home, taking on the Seattle Mariners. Dallas Keuchel's on the mound for the Astros. Cy Young Award winner. Taijuan Walker's on the mound for the Mariners. The Astros are minus 145 on the money line. Total in this game, 7.5 runs. I like the Houston Astros at minus 145. Couple quick parlays here for you. I'm going to parlay up the St. Louis Cardinals at minus 155 on the money line. They're taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. As I'm seeing a lot of line movement right now, so maybe I'm screwed on this one. Cardinals stand at minus 135 right now. But screw it, I like Mike Leake. He's been pretty consistent. Pittsburgh Pirates are not a good ball team. And St. Louis Cardinals could put up runs. So I'm going to parlay up the Cardinals with the Boston Red Sox and David Price. They're sitting at minus 230 on the money line, so I had to do something with that. Boston Red Sox bats are waking back up. I think A.J. Griffin's in for some trouble on the mound tonight for Texas. So I like the St. Louis Cardinals parlayed up with the Boston Red Sox. MLS action tonight. New England Revolution. They're hosting the New York City Football Club. New York City has won their last 2 games by the score of 2-0. Back-to-back shutouts. They're on a little bit of a roll. Now, both of these teams have a quick turnover. It's been 2 days since the Revolution played. It's been 1 day since the New York City Football Club. Fuck, man, I hate that fucking name, man. New York Football Club. Like, why don't they just call it New York City FC? Like, fucking just stupid fucking name, man. Anyways, it's been 1 day since they played. But I'm going to just go out on a limb. I'm going to take the hot-handed team here. I do like the, I think it's going to go under. But I'm going to take the draw, or New York City FC at plus 115. David Villa can score. They have a pretty strong midfield. They're starting to come together. Patrick Vieira took him a little bit of time, to kind of get his hands on the team, mold it a bit, figure out how to manage in the MLS as well. New York City FC have actually won their last 3. And they've actually won, never mind. They lost to the Cosmos, lost to Seattle. So they've won their last 3. They won 3 in a row. Sitting in 4th place. Sitting in 4th place in the standings. New England Revolution, they got 4 wins on the season. Sitting in 16th. They struggled to score some goals. Even though they popped 2 against the Montreal Impact their last game. Screw the under. Sorry about that. The over's probably in play in this game. But I think it's going to be a draw. Something like a 2-2 draw. Maybe New York City FC take it at 2-1. Something in the rounds of that. I just had to get, I had so much information going along with baseball here. I just had to go back and see why I wanted to take draw or New York City FC at plus 115. I'll also lean to the over in that game. The MLS can be weird. The MLS can be interesting. Nonetheless, the MLS is entertaining because of it. So I do think we see some goals tonight. And other than that, remember, you're not winning if you're not laying the money on the table.
Become a part of what you should do.